The Chicago Bears are clearly looking to strengthen their running back group for Ben Johnson's offense, and now a veteran from Cleveland has his eyes on Chicago. According to multiple reports, the Bears might be interested too. Let's break it all down, along with the top 2 running backs on the Bears' radar, as reported by Marquee Sports Network. Now, before we go any further, would you want Nick Chubb in Chicago? If it's on a veteran minimum, sure. Otherwise, it's a no-go. So, here's where things stand. Late Saturday night or early Sunday morning, depending on where you are, reports surfaced that the Bears could be in on Chubb. Sources say Chicago is in the mix to sign the veteran running back in 2025, and Chubb himself has shown interest in playing for the team. The first whispers of this came before free agency, when NFL Rumors on X reported that Chubb would be open to joining the Bears if the Browns move on. There's also the connection to DeAndre Swift. They were college teammates. Swift knows the system, they've played together before, and there's chemistry. Add in Roschon Johnson, and suddenly, Chicago's backfield looks solid. But let's be real. Chubb is coming off back-to-back injury seasons. He's looking for any opportunity to get back in the league. The guy has already made over $70 million between his contract and endorsements, so money might not be his top priority. But can he still produce at a high level? That's the real question. 2 years ago, he tore his ACL just 2 games into the season. Last year, he played in 8 games but only put up 332 rushing yards. That's a concern. The rumor picked up steam a few weeks before free agency, with reports suggesting that the Bears could be in the market for a veteran back. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon were possibilities, but they landed elsewhere. Chubb is still available. And according to NFL Rumors again, the Bears are a team to watch. They have the cap space, they have the need. The Browns are also still in the mix, but Cleveland has some financial decisions to make. They've paid Myles Garrett. They've made other moves. Can they afford to keep Chubb? Only if he's willing to take a discount. Otherwise, he's heading elsewhere. Sometimes, a fresh start is all a player needs. We've seen it before, guys coming off injuries, looking for a second chance, and making the most of it. If the Bears were to offer Nick Chubb a veteran minimum deal with some incentives that don't hit the cap, it makes sense. But paying him big money? No way. The reality is he's played 2 games in 2023 and just 8 last year. Both injuries were to his legs, specifically his knee. That's a major red flag. That's not the kind of risk you want to take unless the price is right. Now let's look at what he actually did last season. He finished 8th in Comeback Player of the Year voting after putting up 102 carries for 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 17 first downs. That means he was moving the chains at a solid rate. But here's the issue. He averaged just 3.3 yards per carry. He was trying to shake off the rust, but the production wasn't there. If you're handing him a veteran minimum contract maybe. Anything more? No shot. Now, before the injuries, this guy was a force. He made the Pro Bowl in both 2021 and 2022. In 21, he rushed for over 1,200 yards. In 22, he topped 1,500 yards with 12 touchdowns. He was catching passes out of the backfield, racking up over 1,400 total yards in 21, and more than 1,700 in 22. Then came 2023. He started off strong. 170 rushing yards in just 2 games, averaging 85 yards per game before the injury derailed everything. He tried making a comeback in 2024 but never found his rhythm. The potential is still there, but can he stay healthy? That's the big question. If the Bears could get anything close to his 2022 production, 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, 5.0 yards per carry, on a cheap deal, you take that every time. He could be a real comeback player candidate in 2025, but that's a big if. So, what do you think? Has your opinion changed? Still a no? Still a yes? Or are you now on board for the right price? Let's hear it. Meanwhile, there's another running back rumor heating up. Boise State's Ashton Jeanty, one of the top backs in the 2025 draft, continues to be linked to Chicago, and Vegas seems to think it's happening. According to Pro Football Talk, the betting markets have the Bears as the favorites to draft him. The odds? Plus 120. And we all know, Vegas usually knows something. You know what DK means? I'll leave it at that. But if the Bears are really going to make this move, here's what needs to happen first. Sign a veteran offensive lineman for depth. Simple as that. There are options out there, but letting Matt Pryor walk, that still makes no sense. Solid depth piece, versatile, and they just let him go. If they're serious about drafting Ashton Jeanty, they have to shore up that offensive line first, because at number 10 overall, there's still elite O-line talent available. Now just picture this, an explosive backfield in Chicago. Jeanty brings speed, power, and production. 94.9 PFF grade, 6.9 yards per carry, nice, over 2,500 rushing yards, and 29 touchdowns. You pair him with Caleb Williams, and suddenly you've got your young core locked in for the next 4 years on rookie deals. Financially, it works. Talent-wise, it makes sense. But again, get that O-line depth first. Now here's where it gets interesting. According to NFL.com, the Bears are reportedly very interested in North Carolina's Omarion Hampton, so much so that they'd consider taking him at number 10. Bucky Brooks made the case, pointing out that Ben Johnson's success with a two-back system in Detroit could push Chicago to invest heavily in a power runner to complement DeAndre Swift. But let's be real. Number 10 is way too high for this guy. Even at number 20, it might be a stretch. If Hampton is truly their guy, trading back and picking up extra draft capital makes a lot more sense. That said, Hampton is an impressive prospect. He's a big back, 6'1", 220 pounds, the biggest RB in the room if the Bears draft him. Last year at North Carolina, he racked up over 1,600 rushing yards, 15 touchdowns, and posted a 5.9 yards per carry average. Then there's the combine, 30.5-inch arm length, solid for pass catching and blocking. 9.3-inch hands, good grip on the football. Production score, 84-100. Athleticism score, 82-100. Overall score, 85-100, fourth best among all running backs at the combine. The guy checks a lot of boxes. At the end of the day, the Bears will be making a move at running back. Whether it's Chubb on a veteran minimum or a rookie like Jeanty or Hampton, they're adding talent. And honestly, if Chubb doesn't work out, so what? You move on. There's always another running back class next year. This draft is loaded, and the Bears have options.